All right, now let's look at the property of pandas series called index. I already mentioned about index. So by default, you're going to get index, which is from, so here we have S2. Let me print S2 and then do S2 index. Okay, so S2 is 4, 7, minus 5, and 3, and when you print S2, it prints the index first, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, and the index is saved as an index object. Okay, you can get just the index object and iterate over the index object if you want. See, like in dictionary, we could get the key alone, right? So you can dictionary, the name of the dictionary dot keys will give you the keys of the dictionary, and then you can iterate over the keys. So you can do the same thing here by getting the index object with S2 dot index and then iterate over it. Now you can specify an index. Okay. So here is user specified index. So you do, it's part of the PD dot series function. Like comma data type, then you specify a data type, and similarly you can specify index. Okay, so you say index is this. So instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, okay, as the index, that's the default index. Now, since we are specifying specific index, now the index will be 10, 20, 30, and 40, the index that we are specifying. So let me say print S3, so we can look at both. So the indexes used here are 10, 20, 30, and 40 that we have provided. It can be anything. Index can be anything. Okay, it can be string as well, okay, or floating point, or names and integer, any data type. Okay, so the data type of the values themselves are integer now. Okay, so here, if you do not specify index, pandas will automatically assign index 0 through whatever number. If you want to specify index at the time you create a pandas series, then in the pd.series function, you specify index equal to, like here. Now, if you already have a series already created, now you want to assign your own index to the series. Okay, so then you use, so changing index of a series that already exists. So we have S3, okay, and the S3 index right now is 10, 20, 30, and 40. Okay, now you want to change that to A, B, C, D, for example. Okay, then you can set that, okay, S3 dot index and set it equal to, and provide the new index values. Of course, it should match. You should have the same number of, suppose if, okay, now it has 4 elements, length mismatch error. Okay, so if you don't specify enough index elements, then you'll end up with an error. So now you see the index are A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now pandas series values, okay, so there is, like in dictionary, we have dictionary name dot keys and dictionary name dot values. There are 2 things that we saw before. Similarly, in series, we have series dot index for the index values and the series name dot values, that will give you the different values of the series. So S3 dot values, so it gives you what the values are in that series. Okay. All right. Now we can use the index, okay, to access. So now there is, so when you try to access a particular element in a series, you can do it in two different ways. One is, okay, the implicit index. Even if you change the index to something different, so now we changed it to A, B, C, D, right? The default index originally created was 0, 1, 2, 3 is gone, right? Now we have new indexes, A, B, C, and D. But actually, the original index, the implicit index, is always there. Okay, you can use the implicit index to access elements in a series. So using the implicit index is your default index that's always associated with a series. That's why when you do S3 and then specify 1, okay, implicit index starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So 0, 1. So the implicit index 1 corresponds with the number 7. So you get 7. Okay. And implicit index 3 colon, again this colon works exactly like what we have seen previously. 3 colon means starting with 3, everything to the right. Colon and then a number would be starting from the beginning all the way up to but not including the number you have specified. Remember, the ending point is non-inclusive. So here, so starting from 3, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, starting from 3, there is only one item, so that's it. So S3, so that's going to give you, starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 not included. Okay. So these are implicit indexes. Okay. So you must remember that. You have the implicit index always available to you. Even if you did not change the default index, then implicit index is all you got. But if you change the index to whatever that you wanted, then you still have the implicit index to access elements. In addition, you also have the user-defined index. Well, so fancy indexing we've done before. You can give a list of index numbers, so you can mix and so you can have like 3 first and then 1. Okay, so you give a list of implicit indexes, okay, within square bracket, then it will access all of those indexes. Okay, so that's fancy indexing. Now, explicit indexing, okay, so we have S3, so now we can use explicit indexes by providing the value of the index. So S3A will be the value associated with the index A. Okay, and you can provide multiple explicit indexes as a list, so like that. And you can change the value of a series by accessing through an index. So if you say S3A equal to 10, then the value associated with index A will be changed. The old value is thrown out and the new value is put in its place. Okay? Okay, so let's see. We want to create a Pandas series from this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I should have a. So we'll call this SQ5 equal to PD series of that. Okay, so that's our A. Right, so it creates the PD series with implicit index values going from 0 through 4. Okay. Next, B. Okay. Now we want to set I1, I2, and so on as the index. So if you say SQ5 dot index equal to that, and of course I need to take that off. Okay. Since it's already created, I'm using SQ dot index to set the index of the series. Okay. I could have done this by setting the index in the function itself. If I put comma index equal to that, then it would create the series with those values as the index. Okay, let's do it this way now. So then SQ5. So we have the indexes going from I1 through I5. Okay. Now access and display the first, third, and the last element of the series. Okay. The first, third, and the last element. We can do it in two different ways. SQ5. So since we are now accessing multiple elements, we have to do fancy indexing. So we have to provide the indices in this way. Okay. So if you want to use by implicit index with implicit index, we can do 0. What we want, the third element, the index for third element will be 2, the last element is 4. Right? Now, so this is C, right? C with user defined or explicit index. So you do the same thing. Since we have multiple indexes that we have to use, you have to give that as a list. Okay. So we want the first one. So first one is I1, the third one is I3, and the last one is I5. Change the value at index I2 to 100. So D will be SQ5 and the index I2, we want to change I2 to 100. Okay, so I2 gets changed to 100. Now, I want you to think about the changes that are permanent and the changes that are temporary. So in this case, the changes we made are permanent. So we didn't have to save, we didn't have to make a change and save it into another object like we had done previously. So when we changed the index using SQ5.index equal to that, then the index gets permanently changed. Okay, you don't have to save it into another object. So it is in place, what we would call in place. So changes made are in place, it stays there. Same here, when we change the value to 100, the change was in place. Okay, so it gets permanently changed.